Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Let me fix my mic. How's this thing on? Good afternoon. What's up, y'all? It's been a while, it's been a while, it's been a while. I ain't talked to y'all in a minute. I've been doing a lot of driving, a lot of focusing on my trucking company, and I ain't been able to holler at y'all. But I've been getting a lot of people asking me questions about the credit repair business. So not credit repair business, but just about fixing their own credit. And therefore, I just want to do this video because I want to show you how to do it. I'm gonna try to let some of y'all come in a little bit, but here's the rules of this video. If you know somebody that's been lazy all year long, talking about they're gonna fix their credit, you need to tag them. And if you don't want to embarrass them, then you need to forward this to them. But we gotta stop letting our friends talk about what they're gonna do all year long, Melissa. So we gotta stop letting our friends talk about what they're gonna do. It's March already. Some of y'all can't even believe that. Some of y'all don't even understand that. It is March already. And a lot of y'all already done promised yourselves that y'all finna be doing something and ain't started on none of that. You're almost over with. What y'all talking about? You're almost over with. If it's March, you're almost over with. You're almost over with. So I had some people ask me, they was just like, basically I had a client, and the client was like, man, you did that so quick. Like, how did you do that? And I was like, you can do it yourself. And because y'all know I show people how to fix their credit themselves, but people just so lazy. Y'all just don't want to do it. And that's okay. But if you know the lazy person that's been doing all that, talking about what they going to do and how this is a new year for them, they ready to buy a house, ready to buy a car, ready to do something, improve their credit, but they ain't moved yet, then you need to share this video with them. If you want to send it to their messenger, that's fine. If you want to tag them because you bold like me, Melissa, that's fine. But either way it go, they need to see this. So let me go ahead and get it cracking real quick, because I know we got a lot of people that want to purchase homes this year. Just got a lot of goals this year. Just got to fix their credit this year. Shout out to let me share my screen real quick. Share my screen. But they be doing this. They be tripping. They change this up every time. All right, share the whole entire screen. All right. So shout out to one of my clients. She said I can use her profile as a example or guinea pig. So of course I want to use a profile that got some stuff on there, or else I just really use my own. But I don't have anything on there to show you guys how I do it. So we're gonna walk along with this profile too. So as you can see, that way you can see the start out, and then I'm probably gonna do a live whenever she gets any type of increase, and then that way you can kind of see the effect that certain things make on your credit report and the effect that certain things don't make on your credit report. But anyway, shout out to Nikita, girl, appreciate that referral. Listen, so y'all, Nikita sent me a referral for somebody purchasing a home. When I close, because Lord knows I will, when I close on this deal, Keita, just get your flight ticket ready. That's all you need to do. Just put back a couple of coins every time you get the little paycheck. Just put up you some flight money. Put up you some flight money for you and Chad, or you and your friends, you and whoever. Just put up some flight money. I'm gonna send you somewhere. I don't care who you take with you. I'm just gonna be responsible of where you go. I don't care where you go. I just be responsible of the roof over your head. But hey, listen, when you got it on live video, I can't go back against it. So just put your fight money up, though. That's all I'm saying. All right, back to the regular scheduled program. So let's take a look at this. First thing I do, as soon as somebody call me and say, hey, Robert, I need help. I need you to help me fix my credit. I heard you help people fix your credit. The first thing I tell them, the first thing they ask is how much. So I blow their minds away when I say it's free. So a lot of people are like, why you don't sell? Why you don't sell? Because honestly, this is free information. Like, you can Google all this information and you can figure it out yourselves. But a lot of us are lazy, right? So they like to call somebody they know can do it. So I still will personally do it, even though I'm showing you how to do it yourself right now. But the only thing I say is, even though it's free, if you get any type of improvement, I ask that you just hit me 2 times whatever the improvement is as a tip, right? So I don't really charge. But if your score will go at 60 points, then I really would appreciate that $120 tip if you know 60 times 2. So don't act like you don't know math, right? All right. But anyway, regardless, all this information is always free on the World Wide Web. If y'all didn't know what that WWW stood for. But anyway, So let's take a look at this. So first thing I do is I tell a client, I say, all right, do you got Experian? And they say no or yes. I say, give me a login so I can log in, take a look at it. Because I don't feel like trying to go back and forth with them and try to tell them to send me the information. I like, just give me a login. It's not going to show any of your personal information. It's going to show where you live or where you used to live, but it's not going to show like social or anything. So therefore, I'm not liable for anything. So I can't worry about nobody going back trying to sue me and all that mess, and vice versa. And they ain't got to worry about giving away their information. That's really just on the internet anyway. Most of this information is shown on this part of the credit report is on the information as far as like, where you used to live and all that. But anyway, so let's take a look at this. So I say, give me your Experian, log in the Experian. So I log into the Experian. First thing I do is I go to credit summary, right? Y'all see this? So I go to credit summary. I click on that. This right here just gives me like a kind of little brief look at what I'm about to look at. So a lot of people say they don't know how to read this, and so we're going to go through this real quick. I promise you this ain't going to be long live. Some of y'all ain't got no long attention span, but some of y'all need a long attention span because if you ain't got over a 700 credit score, then you need to be paying attention, right? Because it's going to help you improve on your score no matter what your score is. All right, so the first thing it says is they got fair payment history. They got 11 late payments and 6 collections, no public records. So like right off the bat, I'm looking at this and I'm like, low credit usage. They got 0% credit usage. I know right there immediately they're missing 165 points just because I know it's worth 30%. So I'm finna go take a look at their FICO scores. Now, if you sign up for Experian and you cheat and you do the free account, you're not gonna have access to these other two, as you can see. They're just gonna be Experian. But if you go ahead and pay the little trial, or if you go ahead and just pay the $30 or the $20, $24, whatever it is, trust me, it's worth it. Especially if you're not paying nobody to do it, then you might as well be able to open up all of your reports. So I would advise you to pay for it. If you don't want to pay for the membership, that's fine. It's free. Once again, Experian is free. So anyway, you just go to the Experian. You get your little Experian score. The score has been updated as of the 9th. When we go here and take a look, let me see if they're going to show you your different FICO scores. So this is one thing I want to show you guys. Right off the bat, you can see that you got several FICO scores that show you different things. So you got a bank card FICO score. So the FICO 2 is usually a bank card FICO. So this is basically what if the people that were thinking about giving you a credit card, this is what they would use. They would look at this FICO score. So this FICO score right here, her FICO score is a 506. So she probably ain't finna get no credit cards no time soon, right? So then they got the FICO 3 score. Was another credit card score, and then the FICO 8. So if you take a look at this, you don't really know which one they're going to use, but it just depends on that lending company. So then if you click on auto scores, so when you go try to get a car, they're going to use your FICO 8 score. Well, her FICO 8 score is a 550. So that's not, it is bad, but it ain't terrible. Or they might use your FICO 2. And then when you jump to some mortgages, not all mortgage companies, they're going to use the FICO 2. So when you go to this and you say, hey, I'm trying to buy a house for the most part, and you thinking, hey, let's say this was a 638. And then you went down here and found out that the mortgage told you went in and tried to get a loan and they said you got 30 points less. This is why, because they use the FICO 2 and they're not using this FICO that you're using to look at this. So this right here is the FICO 8. And this is how you find it. You see where it says, follow my cursor. For some of y'all, where it says FICO 8. All right. So this is the FICO 8 model. Real quick note, a lot of you guys that use Credit Karma, that's a Vantage scoring system. That has nothing to do with the FICO scoring system. So you just saw how the credit card companies, the auto companies, or the auto dealerships, and the mortgage lenders all use the FICO system. So please get away from using a Vantage system to gauge what your score is. A lot of you use that and just say, hey, I have this. And then you find out that your FICO score is terrible. And then you be disappointed. That's why. Like, get away from using the Vantage scoring system. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to use Credit Karma because it is valuable. Like, it gives you, information for you to know what you're missing and what you need to work on. But from a scoring standpoint, there's no need to use it because nobody uses that. So why use it? All right, so let's take a look. One of my clients was like, well, I don't know how to read the report. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk you through how you read the report, right? So we're not even looking at the credit report itself. We're looking at the factors that they use for scoring. So 35% of the score is your payment history. Just so you know what that point total is, that point total is 192.5 points. So if you're looking at the fair, she probably is only getting 30 points of that available 192, right? Because of her payment history. And that has nothing to do with but paying her bills on time. So let's click on this. All right, we click on this. 11 late payments over 30 days, 6 collections, 11 late payments past 60 days. Only 35% of her accounts will ever even pay as she was agreed to. So that's a horrible percentage. So it tells you right here everything that you need to know. So then when I go back, I scroll down, I see that her amount of basically her utilization, her amount of debt is 30% of her score. So that point total for that is 165 points. So that's poor. I mean, it tells you right there, it's poor. I don't have to tell you it's poor, it's poor. And so what that consists of? Well, that's because she don't have any credit available. So she don't have any credit available to say that right now she don't have any open accounts. She doesn't have a loan, a car note, and she doesn't have a credit card. So to all my cash only people, I only use cash. I have no need. But then you be upset by why your credit score is low. This is why. 30%, that is a chunk. 165 points, that is a chunk. Let's go back up here and look at this and say if she was getting all of her points. What would that be? 703? Did I say that right? 165? Yeah, 703. So just like that, horrible as this account is with the collections and all of that good stuff and all the late payments, if she had some real defined credit usage on her utilization, she could easily be at a 700, just like that. See, a lot of people think like, oh man, I gotta have all this disappear to be at a 700. I gotta have all this disappear and I gotta not miss any payments. No, there's a lot of different factors the way that they factor in, but it tells you right here. Like there's no need to not pay for this. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's cool. Because once again, Experian is free. But like that look $20, $30, like you need to know this information, especially if you're trying to purchase stuff. Now, if you ain't trying to purchase nothing, that's fine. And if you're a big baller bankroller and you got the money to pay cash for everything, that's fine too. But the rest of us, that ain't fine. So let's talk about the rest of us. All right, so right here, if you click on that, her revolving account utilization. So basically, she's had nothing but credit cards on here. And it says that they over her percentage of utilization, but she doesn't have any credit usage. And I'm going to show you why she don't have any. This basically means those collections. You know, like if the collection, if she got the collection and it was like the limit was 600, but by the time she got the collection, it was 755. That means it was over his utilization. So it's over the 100%. So I'm going to walk you through that. All right. So here, 15% of the score is length of credit history. This right here says very good. So this right here, 15% of that of her available points is going to be 80. What is it? 82.5, because that's where my other 5 come from. So 82.5. So right here, she probably getting 60 of these available points because it says very good. So let's take a look at why hers is very good and somebody else is not. So her average age is 7 years. Her oldest account is 16 years old. So she got started at an early age. A lot of us didn't get started at an early age. That's fine. A lot of us wipe our credit clean and then wonder why it still ain't. The score is horrible. Well, you just wiped away 82 points, a possibility of 82 points. Because if this is 0, so like some of you guys, let's say you got nothing but collections on your account, but you don't have any credit cards open, you don't have any loans, any nothing. And you get somebody to fix your credit or whatever the case may be, and they get the collections knocked off. Well, guess what? You got an 18-year-old credit report now, like back when you was 18 years old. So that's why you be like, I got some money to work on my credit and I didn't see any improvement because you starting all over. I just showed you why you like this 82 points is going to the fact of you even having an old account or a young account. And some of you are young and have young accounts, and some of you made mistakes like I did and got everything cleared off of your account, and it's going to still be a young account. If there's nothing on it, think about it. If there's nothing on it, then you're starting all over from 0. So if there's somebody who would ask me, well, should I be worried about not fixing my credit? No, fix your credit. And if you got collections, get them taken off, but you're just going to have to work hard on rebuilding it. So it's not a one-all fix-all. That's the main thing, the main point I want to get across. It's not a, let me get somebody, especially when you pay somebody. I don't know who that is. I had to call him back. So especially when you pay somebody and then you get upset because you paid this person, they got these collections removed, but your score is still bad. Well, it's not that they didn't do a good job. They did a good job. They got the collection removed. But if you didn't have any credit cards and you already paid your one car off, you don't have any outstanding loan balance. So therefore, you don't even have any utilization, which is 30% of your score. That's 165 points. You don't have any credit length of credit history, which is 82 points. So you do the math. 82, 165, that's 2, whatever, 40 something. So 240 points. So let me tell you something. For all you people that said, I got somebody to fix it, or I got somebody to work on my credit, but I didn't see any improvement, but you don't have a credit card or a car loan, and they got everything taken off of your credit profile, but you got a 500. Well, I just told you was missing 240 points. 500 plus 240. Oh man, that's a 740. Like, it's not delete everything and I'm finna get an 800. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. So I go right here. So I'm still finna show y'all how to fix it. So I'm not just, this is not an education. This is a full educational video. So I'm finna go into that real quick. So just bear with me, all you impatient people. And for the lazy people, like I said, tag the lazy people. All right, 10% of your score is for the amount of new credit. So right now she has exceptional new credit rating. So what that means is she ain't been applying for nothing. She got no recent inquiries. And as it says, the age of her most recent open is 1 year. That's her most recent open, but she ain't got no recent inquiries. So she's probably getting, that's worth for 55 of your points. So she's probably getting 50 points from that alone, 50 points from that alone. And then a credit mix. So when she did have it, she has 11 revolving, 9 installment loans, including mortgages, and then 5 bank issue cards. So she had a hellified credit mix at one point in time. But we about to delete some of that credit mix, just so you know. But she had a hellified credit mix at one point in time. So really, if you look at it, this is 55. So let's say she was getting 40 of this. This was, let's say she was getting 40 of this, 45 of that. So we like it, what, 80 or 90, 95, 85. I'm guessing. I'm not adding this on purpose. I'm just saying it's going to be in the 80, 95 range. And then if this was 82 points and she's getting like a good chunk of that, 60. So that alone right there, she's earned herself like 100 and some points just from that. So what do we need to work on? This and this. So now I'm going to show you how you fix that. All right, so now let's go to the report. All right, so we go to the report itself. The first thing I'd take a look at is how many addresses you have and then how many names you have. So this individual only has 2 names on her report. So this is not bad. Some of y'all got 7 names over here. Some of y'all got your middle name, your last middle name, your middle initial. You got all kinds of stuff. So what happens if I send in a delete letter or a request letter or, trying to send in a letter for dispute and it's tied to a name she doesn't use anymore? Well, if it's tied to a name she doesn't use anymore and I send a updated letter, and let's say this debt, let's go ahead and look at this real quick. Let's say one of these collections, this collection right here, is tied to a name that she doesn't, her maiden name, she doesn't use anymore. Well, if I send an update letter first and say, hey, I don't use this name anymore, I need you to delete this name. So say they delete this name. They do what they're supposed to do, they delete this name. I'm going to show you how you do that here in a second. Then when I send a dispute letter in for this collection, it's basically going to say, this is my name. This right here. Not the Winters, but the Jones. So it's basically going to say, this is my name. So it's basically like, I don't know who that is. You need to get rid of that. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to get rid of that. So the first letter that I always send is a personal info update letter, because I need to get rid of these addresses. She don't live here no more, so don't try to stalk her. I need to get rid of these addresses, and I need to get rid of the names that don't apply. So I'm finna click on that real quick and show you what that letter looks like. All right, so here's the letter. Yes, if you need it, I'll send it to you. That's lazy because you could just pause the screen and then just type it out yourself. But if you're just that lazy, I'll send it to you. I don't care. All right. So when I send this, it says, please update my address info to plug it in. Please update my name to plug that name that you want to be notified or use as. My only social security number is such. My only and correct date of birth is boom. And my only employer is boom. So by doing that, you're going to get rid of these addresses, those employers, and you're going to have your date of birth on there. So anything negative tied to anything other than what you specify, the hope and goal is they delete that off your credit report, which is why most of the time people see a lot of success when you're disputing your credit report when you send these update letters first. So I'm just going to read it real quick, just so you know what it says. It says, I have been receiving, and I had a generic one, and then I kind of threw my own little twist to it. So that's why when they see this, it don't look like something everybody else has sent 1,000 times. So anyway, you don't have to put your own little twist to it. What I'm saying is I twisted mine, but this is a good letter. So it says, I have been receiving multiple credit offers, and I fear my credit is at high risk for identity theft due to you reporting inaccurate addresses under my name. Please remove all other names and addresses off my report as they are not deliverable to me by the U.S. Post Office, and they are not reportable per the FCRA since they are inaccurate. I also do not wish to have any telephone numbers on my report. Y'all, you want to do that because some of y'all have been rocking the same number for a long time, and if they tie you to their phone number, you don't want that to show on your report because they're gonna show all your bad stuff. I had one phone number one time. That junk was back when I was running through Discover. I was maxing them bad boys out and was not paying them bad boys off. That was a different life. All right. Please provide an updated credit report of you removing these inaccuracies via email to the address provided. And then you put your name down. Simple. It's going out to all 3 bureaus. So this is the first thing I sent to my clients. I said, hey, look, let's get some of those names off. Now, this client didn't have no real big issue with names, but we sent it anyway. So that's the first thing I send. They send that, give it about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So now you're going to take a look at the timetable. So all you people that want to fix your credit in 30 days, it ain't possible. You can get an improvement, but you ain't fixing it, especially if you don't already have built credit history. Now, if you got built credit history, you just need to take off a couple collections. Yeah, okay, you're the individual that can get some results in real quick and immediate big results. So anyway, let's think about this timetable. All right, we're starting January 1st, 2023. So we sent this off January 1st, 2023. In 2 weeks, they're gonna see it. They should update it. If they don't, you might have to repeat the process. But let's just say they're playing fair and they update it. So now you get the new update, and within that 3rd week in January. So now you can send the dispute letters. So now let's do the dispute letters. I already did her dispute letters. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the last 2 of her collections and show you how easy it is for me to plug it in, and then you can go from there. All right. So watch this. So I'm gonna talk about these negative accounts in a minute. let's stay. I gotta stay focused. All right. So I go down to what's hurting her account the worst, and so that's immediately the collections. So let's go down to the collections and see, can we work on these collections first? So I go down to these collections and I start at the top and I go all the way down to the bottom. Now I told you we're gonna use this dispute letter that I already done for her, and I deleted the last 2 off. So then I'm gonna go back just so I can show you how quick it is when I do this. So I go down to this. I open it up on the side. It's got the name. I copy it. I go over here. For some of you people that don't know how to, I tab down. Give me another line. It's already gonna be in bold. I don't do the paste like the original formatting. Please don't do that, you guys. I go over here to keep text only. So basically, I'm going to paste it just like it looks above it. Then I tab over. I need the account number, right? All right, let me go back. I go back. I get the account number. I typically take the number. I cut and paste all the way to about 2 or 3 X's, because it don't matter, because at least they got the number, and they typically just, want the number anyway. I copy that. I go back. I do the same format. Boom. Let's do it again. I go back. It's the next one. I cut, paste, copy. I go back, tab down. I hit return down rather. I paste this bad boy. I do that right? Oh yeah, I did. It be messing me up sometimes. All right. I need the account number. Go back. Give me a couple of X's in there. Just 2 or 3. It don't matter. Now I go back. Boom. Paste it. All right. So I did that for all 6 accounts, right? When I do that for all 6 accounts for the Experian, for all you cheap people who didn't pay for the other credit report, you don't know what's on the other 2 credit reports. She may only have 3 of these accounts, 3 of these collections on TransUnion. She may only have 3 collections on TransUnion. So her TransUnion score might be higher, but we don't know that because we decided not to pay for the what's the name, right? For the service, for that service. So go ahead and copy all of this. Scroll down. Put it in there and hit paste. Boom. And do it again. That was for TransUnion. Boom. That's for Equifax. All right. So now that I got these, when I tell you I be fixing people's stuff in like 5 minutes, this is why I be fixing people's stuff in 5 minutes. So now that I got this on here, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to read this. This is my first round letter. So I got 3 rounds of letters typed up. I'm not going to go through all 3 of these letters just due to the fact that some of y'all don't even pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Y'all attention span is short. But I got 3 letters typed up. So let's look at the first round. As per section, so this is 609 letter. So, these letters are Googleable. But once again, I put my own touch on it because the computer that they're using to put your dispute letters in, because no human looks at your dispute letters, just so y'all know. So the computer that they're using, sometimes it keys on letters that they done seen 1,000 times, yada, yada, yada. So like I said, I always got my own little twist on it, but I make sure the twist makes sense. So as per section 609, I'm entitled to see the source of information, which is the original contract that contains my signature. Please show proof of verification. I will not accept a simple response saying verify without showing me the verification. If you are unable to verify the account with the original contract, the information should be removed from my credit report within 30 days. Please forward me an updated consumer credit report after you finish your investigation and made the necessary corrections. As proof of my identity, I have included copies of my social security card and my driver license. You always got to do that. You always got to include some type of identification that has your social on there and have your current address. So for you people that moved and ain't rocking that address with your mama on your driver license, get your address changed. Y'all lazy. Please get your address changed. What are you doing? Like, how can you be serious? How can you say 2023 is going to be my year to be serious and you ain't even change the address on your driver license because you don't want to? Like, just stop it. All right. So I do that. I date it. Make sure the date is correct. I email it to my client. My client, all they have to do is print this out, add a copy of their driver license and social security card, and mail it. Now, let's go back to the timetable. We updated our info, so now we only got one name on our credit report, one name, one address, one everything. Now, you're probably going to get some increase just from that alone sometimes, because sometimes things fall off after you do that. So now you send this dispute in. Keep your fingers crossed that something happens. Regardless, it's going to take 35 to 40 days for this investigation. So now it's February when you send this off. You're not going to know anything or hear anything back to the end of February, 1st of March. Once again, that's 60 days right there. So this is for all the people that's going through a credit repair service and they're kind of worrying about why they're not getting no results. Be patient. This is only one part of it. So that's 60 days right there. You ain't sent out but one real dispute letter because you had to send the update letter first because you got 1,000 aliases like James Bond. So when that dispute comes back, let's say they only take off 2 of these things. Well, I have a round 2 And the round 2 basically says something similar, but it says you didn't send the information to verify these things, or yada yada yada, or I feel like your investigation was this and that, because most of the time they shut you short. They'll quickly say, "Oh, we verified. Don't worry about it. It's verified." And then you got to be like, "Okay, once again, I said prove it or take it off, or you might have to get your lawyers involved." Like, I forgot what my second round letter says, but it's something to that factor. So by the time that you do it again, this is 2 disputes. By 2 disputes, all these companies got to pay every time somebody check your credit on their behalf. They got to pay for that shit. So let's go back to a credit profile. All right, so let's go back to a credit profile. She got this one collection on here for $355. Like, these folks gonna be like, I'm not finna keep paying just because she disputing it. And every time she's disputed, I gotta pay Experian just to prove that this should be on there. So let's just say you disputed 3 times. About the 3rd time, they're gonna be like, bro, you can have it. You can have them little funky 355, because they're gonna be like, I only paid 100 for it anyway. I was just trying to come up, because I guarantee you they only paid 100 for it. We already know that these companies are private-owned companies, just like me, you, anybody can own one of these collection agencies, and they just go out and buy this debt. So they literally called Bank of Walmart and said, "Yo, you got any debt?" They said, "Yeah, I got this 355. She ain't paid us yet." Be like, "All right, how much you want for it?" Walmart said, "Let me take $100 for it." So you be like, "Bet, I give you $100 for it." Now you come back and say, "Hey, you still owe Walmart that 355 because you really do. We know you do, but they only paid 100 for it, hoping that you pay the 355." Willing to settle for half of that, which is I don't know, 150, 60 something, 175 or something like that. So if they got 170 up out of you and they only paid 100 for it, they just made a quick $70. But guess what? If they gotta pay Experian $25 every time they check your credit, and you did 3 times, that's $75. So they'd pay $75 plus the $100. They gonna be like, I'm not responding. I'm done with this. So that's how most of the people get their stuff taken off. It's not a once you challenge, it's gonna come off. There's no quick fix. We all know the debt belongs to you. We all know you ran that card up. We all know you charged that up. We all know you didn't pay that doctor bill. We know that. Let's stop acting like y'all saints and this is like yada yada. Now, there is a 10% of the world that got their identity stolen. That's a different scenario, because if your identity was truly stolen, and once you get the police report, and then you do these letters, and then you add the police report, that's taken off immediately. So that's a different conversation. But for the people that really did the debt, like I'm the person that really did the debt, I was one of the people. We already know that it's a chance it's gonna come off and a chance it ain't. Now let's go to this. Now they on this Fingerhut, they may have paid them folks $800 for this one. They may say, you know what? We're gonna keep saying that they're gonna have to verify this. We're gonna keep saying we got the information. So they're probably gonna make her fight for this one. So this 300 might fall off, this 600 might fall off, this 500 might fall off, this 800 might fall off, but this 1200 might still be on, and this 1100 might still be on, because these people gonna fight, because they like, nah, we paid a lot of money. We're gonna go to war a couple more times. We're gonna spend a couple more $25 just to see if we can get her to pay it. And if she's trying to buy a house sometime soon, what's gonna happen? You're gonna end up trying to pay it anyway, right? So let's talk about that. This is why we say don't pay it. Take a look at this Fingerhut. This is the collection. Fingerhut was the original account. The collector is this LVN Funding. A lot of you know who they are on first name basis. They bought that debt from Fingerhut. What happens if you was trying to buy a house and you said, you know what? I see this collection on there. Let me just go ahead and call these folks and settle. I'll settle for $600. I know that the debt was $1,200, but I got my income taxes. Let me pay this $600. One, you're gonna pay this $600 down to zero, and it's gonna say zero. Guess what? It's still gonna be on here as a collection, unless you send a letter saying, I'm willing to pay you guys if you're willing to take this off. Now, granted, they don't care. They're gonna take it off if you ask and request and they agree to it. Not all the time. They won't take it off unless you ask for the agreement, and you better get it in writing. So let's say they agree to take it off. Boom. Let's make it disappear. It disappeared. So then you'd be like, well, my credit score really didn't go up a lot, but it went up a little bit. Well, you want to know why? Let's go back up to our accounts. These are going to show all accounts that ever was open. Guess what? You know where I'm going with this. You see that finger hut down here, down to 0? Yeah, it's still on here, but now it's just showing on her as negative bill that she didn't pay on time. That eventually got charged off. 30, 60, 90, 120 days, and then it was charged off. At that point that it was charged off, it was sent to the collection agency. So the charge off people, so Fingerhut said, I know she ain't finna pay us. We just finna charge it off. We got insurance on this account. They didn't put this on her negatively. This just was what they reported. So you can't call Fingerhut and ask them to remove this. They're not going to remove this. They're going to be like, child, please, you owed us that money. You never paid us. We're going to leave it on there. We ain't removing shit. And some people, when you call them, excuse my language, some people, when you call them, they probably got it charged off and don't even know. So that's why they like, I don't even remember you having no account. And then I'm not taking it off. I'm leaving it on there because if you deserve to be on there, deserve to be on there. And technically they're right. You used their money and you didn't pay it back. So if I was them, I wouldn't take it off neither. So my point is, you see why it's still on there, but you paid the collection down here. Well, yeah, you got the collection taken off if you got it in writing. Remember, always get it in writing, but you didn't get the negative payments taken off. So it's still negatively impacting you. And so that's a lot of times why we tell people don't pay the collections, because sometimes you pay the collections, it's just going to be a 0 right here. That 0 hurts just as much as this 1260. That 0 hurts just as much as a 1260, which is why we say don't pay the collectors, because you don't have a debt with them. You got a debt with them. And since they already got their money for your debt, that means your debt has been paid. You see that beautiful 0 there? That means your debt has been paid. You know why? 1, because it's charged off, and 2, because LVN paid for it. They paid your bill for you. That's why they're going after you. So, and they really didn't pay your bill. It was the insurance paid the bill, and then they just bought some of it. So anyway, so now you know the dispute process. So like I said, that's like if we go 1 round, 2 round, 3 rounds. Our hope is to get something deleted the first round. May not happen. Maybe the second round may not happen. Third round, people may get tired of fighting and they just say, you know what? Their hope is you send 1 round of dispute letters, nothing happens, and you stop. That's why we always say it's a process. So if we go this entire process, it may take us 4 to 5 months to improve her credit just from a dispute process, right? So let's take a look at her accounts. So you may say, well, why didn't I try to challenge these and get these removed? And I'm going to tell you why. These are closed accounts. So if you challenge these closed accounts, there's a chance that you can get these removed quickly. Since I know that, I'm not going to waste my dispute time on this first. You know why? I'm going to go back and show you why. Under credit summary, they said she had 11 late payments. Listen to this right here. It says it. They'll tell you. This is the people that do the scoring. Late payments are visible up to 7 years, but lenders care about them less as they age. So what does that mean? Some of you can put 2 and 2 together. Some of the old ass accounts she got. Let me go back. Let me go back one that's negative that she missed the payments on. Nah, that's too current. Don't click on that one. That's 2020. So that's 2020. I'll do this because it's 2023. So these late payments, her last late payment was 2020 of January. That's 3 years ago. This ain't really hurting her that bad. Yeah, it's on there. It's negative, and yeah, it's not helping. It's not hurting, is what I'm saying. Click on that one. That's a 2020. That's not hurting her that bad. So these are not hurting that bad. So that's why I focus on the collections first. Because if I put that letter, if I type that letter up and I got all these collections and then I got all these negative payments, that letter gonna be a mile long, and them folks ain't gonna take it serious. The computer gonna spit that bad boy out and just say, nah, this ain't, forget that. We ain't doing that. So I focus on what's important first, and that's gonna be the collections. All right, so I'm about done. I'm gonna let y'all go here in a second. So I go back. What did I want to show you? Underscore link the credit history, payment history. It was something I wanted to show you. Man, I hate it. See, this is why I be doing it off the whim, and that's why I be forgetting sometimes. I'm gonna think about it. Y'all bear with me. Y'all, somebody play some elevator music real quick. So credit usage. This is it. All right, come back to me. If you was thinking about leaving, come back. I found it. All right. So here it is, credit usage. So this is what I was saying where I said that she was missing 165 of her points. Usually when I open somebody's credit report, I go straight to the credit report and I go straight here. If I see a big fat zero here, I know exactly why they sitting in the 500s and not in the high 600s, because they don't have any credit. Zero credit usage. It's only really showing one account that's saying open and the limit is 100. And I bet she don't even know that's open. But anyway, it typically, mostly, if you just started repairing your credit, you're gonna, and you got a zero right here. Now you don't have any collections, and now you have a big fat zero right here. That's why you're in the 500s. If you have somebody credit card you can jump on, if you go ahead and start a credit card, you can already get points immediately. So let's walk this point system down real quick about what she can get. She had a 538. If she goes out and get a secured credit card, she's going to get 20 to 30 points instantly for opening up a secured credit card. Ladies and gentlemen, a secured credit card is where you give them an amount of, let's say, $250. They give you a credit card with a limit of $250. At that point, I would always advise you, buy gas, buy groceries, whatever you buy, something one time simple. And when that bill is due that next month, pay it off. If and when you repeat that for 3 months, the credit bureaus like to see credit history in multiple months. So they like to see them in 3, 6, 9, and 12, right? So each interval, you're going to get a certain amount of points. So you're going to get 20 for opening up the account, right? Then you're going to get probably another 15 to 20 after 3 months. Well, let's just say she gained 40 points from one credit card. That's 570 something. All right. So now that she got a 570 something, let's just say she got on her auntie credit card, who's got some good age, but got a higher limit, yada, yada. So let's say she picked it back on somebody's card. If I had a card available, I would let her pick it back on my card to show you the difference. I just don't have a card available right now because I did a wonderful time of traveling last year, and I'm in the process of paying. It's my 2023 goal is I'm paying down all this debt. But anyway, let's say she get added to another credit card. Well, that's going to be an instant 60 points depending on that credit card. Because if that credit card is high enough and never had a missed payment, and let's say it's over 5 years of age, remember, the age mattered. I told you that, right? So let's say that credit card is over 5 years of age and then has never missed a payment, then she probably gets 60 points for that. So now she done went from a 570, add another 60. Now she's in the 630 range. Well, guess what's going to happen when she get over that 600 range? Because she don't have a lot of inquiries. And remember, we already saw she don't got a lot of inquiries. Zero on her, what's her name? I got to go back to the other screen to show you. So we go back here and we see, where is it at? Credit mix. Length of history. New credit right here. Exceptional. So we've seen she don't have no recent inquiries. So guess what's going to happen when she get over 600? Her mailbox finna get flooded with all kind of offers for unsecured credit cards from Bank of America, from Capital One, from Discover, from Air American Express, from Citibank, all these people. So that's why I usually advise people to do one secured card. When your mailbox start getting flooded, apply for the second one. Never apply for a card that you got to pay a monthly fee. I mean, a yearly annual fee on. You shouldn't have to pay for a credit card. They should want your service, and you should value your service as such. So now she's over a 600, and now she's got an unsecured credit card. Well, guess what? Activate it. Go buy some gas and get you another 20 points. So now she'd be at a 660, something like that. And then guess what's going to happen in 6 months? Because now the other card done aged to 9 months. Now this new card done aged to 6 months. Now she's going to be setting it at a high 6, maybe low 7. But even if she a high 6, guess what? You're doing this in the meantime. We're already sending out these dispute letters. We got to sit and wait for them to come back. So while we sit and wait for them to come back, you're building your credit back up. Once again, while we're waiting on the dispute letters to come back, you are rebuilding your credit history. It's a two-step process. You can't just wipe everything clean. You got to wipe it and rebuild. Wipe, rebuild. It's that simple. Try to get it taken out. Try to get the negative stuff taken off. In the process, rebuild it back up. All right, so if we got her back to like a 670 or 6 something, and let's just say she get let's say she get 3 of these collections taken off, but let's say these collections really wasn't worth but 10 points a piece. Sometimes these collections don't be worth no more than 10 or 20 points, just so y'all know. So let's say they worth 10 points a piece and she get a quick 30, but she had a 660 or 670. Well, guess what? She got a 700 credit score now. So now she got a 700 credit score. If she was thinking about getting a car, now when she walk into that dealership, she finna get a better interest rate on that car note. Guess what happens when she open up that car? And let's say she got to buy a car. She go through Navy Fed, get a car or whatever with her credit union or something. I don't know. Her credit mix just changed. We finna go back. So her credit mix already was looking good. Right here. It was already very good. So now she finna go from very good to exceptional. Because now, guess what? She opened up a new account. And now it's not just a revolving account. It's an installed loan. So where you see credit usage, now she got an installment loan on there. So I guarantee you, open up an installment loan after about 3 months of on-time payments, she gonna be sending like a 750. So I just sat here and walked you down step by step how she's got a 538 right now, and how with the process she could be walk away to a 750, towards the end of the year. Now some of you say, well, I don't have that long to wait when you try to get your credit fixed. That's understandable. But if you're one of the individuals that already has a car loan and it never missed a payment, and you're one of the individuals that have credit cards, they're just maxed out, then once you pay that credit usage down, I'm gonna go back and show it. You see this 30%? They tell you where to pay it at. Ain't that crazy? They want you to be right here where it's 6%. This is where you're gonna get the best bang for your buck. If you can get your credit card down to 6%, that's getting your best bang for the buck. But if as long as you're under this 30, you won't lose any points. Once you go past this 30, you start losing points. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 points. So for all you people that got credit cards out the wazoo with no collections, and you're like, well, I don't have any collections, but my credit score is still shitty. Well, yeah, you got all the credit cards and they maxed out. Pay them off. Get your refund income tax and pay them off. So when you pay them off, you might get 50, 60, 70, 80 points back once you get that balance down to here. So here's the sweet spot. It tells you everything you need to know. That's why I don't understand why y'all just be so lazy. Like just log on and figure it out. It tells you everything you need to know. So pay your credit card off. So answer the question of the person that says, well, I got a 500 and I ain't got no collections. Okay. I guarantee you that individual either missing payments or they got high credit card balances. I'm never wrong with that. As soon as somebody called me and they be like, well, I don't have any collections, so I need help. Okay, well, that person probably has got a 605 or a 590. Once they pay them credit cards down, they're going to jump right back up to their 750. So that person could get instant, I'm talking 30 days, they can get a 150-point increase in 30 days. I'm one of them people. I think currently I'm at like a 6 something, and my credit cards are like way past the 30%, right? All of them, every last one of them. And I just had an 815 just a couple of months ago. I haven't missed a payment. So what changed? Them credit cards getting maxed out. I went from an 815 to a 6 something, 6 and some change. So imagine if I was trying to buy a house right now, if I didn't already own my house and I was trying to purchase a house, and I went to somebody and said, hey, I need help fixing my credit. And they said, okay, we'll take a look at it. And the first thing they do is try to dispute. I got like one late payment like back in 1965. Yeah, I said 65. But anyway, that's exaggeration, but that's how old my late payment is. So let's say they went in and tried to dispute my one late payment, and they ain't advised me to pay my credit cards off. Of course, I'm going to call them folks a scam. They ain't know what they're talking about. But at the same time, I didn't need no help. I just need to pay my debt. A lot of that, paying your credit cards and paying your debt and not missing no payments is the key to great credit, period. All right. Let me see if I got any questions. And if I don't, let me stop that screen share. All right. Hey, Miss Taylor. Turning and tuning the gyms. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely, Miss Taylor. So, all right. So, like I said before, all right, you guys, send this to the lazy people. Send this to the people that said that they was going to fix their credit for the year. Send this to the people that's going to be like whatever. Like, send this to the folks. Tag them, do whatever. And if you was too lazy to go back and watch it, but you want to fix your credit, then you really don't want to fix your credit. I just showed you how to do it for free. At the end of the day, just never miss a payment. Pay your credit cards down, if not off. You can still use them. Just pay them down or pay them off. And never miss a payment. And in the meantime, I just showed you how to dispute any collections that you may have on there that you want to get taken off. It may work and it may not work. But I'm here to tell you, most of the time you got old collections, they're not even counting worth 10, 15 points, no way. So I know somebody that had like 10 collections, and them collections, like, they were worth like 5 points a piece or something like that. That was 50 points. They still had like a 730. So yeah, once they knocked off some of them collections, that was the difference between them not getting 800. So in that case, that's how you move it up. But like, it's sometimes it's just that simple. It's just some pay your bills on time and like don't miss no payments. What'd you say, Stephanie? We should pay before due date. It don't. I'm here to tell you this. A lot of people got all these little tricks of the trade about when you should pay. Pay them. So if you most definitely don't miss a payment. That's the biggest thing. That's the worst thing you can do. I tell a story all the time. I had a client. He was bragging about his 800 score. He was like, yeah, I don't need none of your credit repair help, yada, 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 but I need you to show me how to do something else. So I was like, why you don't need no credit repair? He was like, because I got an 800. So he was bragging. So he missed the payment. And I was like, let me check your credit score. And he was like, man, my credit score dropped to like a 7 something. That man lost 80 points for missing a payment. Just one payment. He never missed a payment in his life. First payment, he dropped 80 points. He was pissed. Took him 6 months to get that back up. Don't miss a payment. So make sure you pay them on time. Now, a lot of people say if you pay them early, it helps. I'm going to tell you why it helps. Because 9 times out of 10, if you pay them early, then you pay them again, you don't pay them twice. It's helping because you're decreasing your utilization. So you saw that big long bar I showed you, and the 30 was right here. It helps because you're moving this way. It ain't really helping because at the time, like, it's supposed to be like a hack that if you pay it before your statement date, that helps. Yeah, that helps. But it doesn't help like if I pay it before my statement date, I'm finna get a 20-point increase. No. It ain't helping like that. Because that ain't why you're missing points. You missing points because of the utilization. You know, if that's your situation. So if your situation is you don't have any collections, then you're missing points because you can sit here maxed out your credit cards. So I don't care if you pay the statement date, the regular date, the early date. As long as you pay it before the due date, then you're all right. And so, and this is what I advise you. If you got the money, make multiple payments. That will help. So you can pay the minimum and turn around and pay another 10, 15, 20. Turn around next pay period, pay another 10, 15, 20. You could literally say, I'm going to add an extra $20 per pay period if you get paid every week, and that's going to benefit you. Or if you really do have the income, then just pay a chunk as a time. Like a lot of times we don't pay them credit cards off because we be like, man, I want to hold on to this money. Like, nah. Like, I can't tell you how much I got on my income tax, because I got a business and I wrote off a lot. So I got a nice income tax return. But I didn't say I got this income tax money, babe. We finna go back and start traveling. Let's go ahead and start booking these trips. I said, babe, we got this tax money. Let's go ahead and start paying this debt off. Like, it hurt me. I got a lot of money back and it hurt. I didn't get a chance to enjoy none of that money because I was paying off these bills because I enjoyed it last year. I'm okay with that. But that's what we got to start doing. We got to start being disciplined. And we just got to be proactive. So once again, tag the lazy people, send it to them, send it to their messenger, whatever you got to do. All the lazy people that say, this was my year, I'm finna do better. It's March and they ain't even got started. And if you have any questions or you need them letters, just let me know and I'll send them letters to you. Y'all have a beautiful day.